Hi guys, in this one I'm going to go over the Invisibility Blimp Bomb concept, which is used for super archers mostly. However, you could use it with some other troops like super minions, it works with those too. It's the exact same concept though, just different troops on the end. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into what the army is for this concept. For this concept, you need a hound, two invisibility spells of your own, two clone spells of your own, a rage spell of your own, two invisibility spells in your clan castle, the blimp, two super archers, and one super wizard. Now you'll see this is 34 out of 35 troop space. We purposely do not want to fill that one remaining space. That is because we do not want that one remaining space to get cloned or to attract the attention of unwanted defensive fire. All right, so let's go ahead and look at an example. All right, so the first step is where would you use this? You want to try to make sure you use it in a place that's going to get quite a bit of value. In dragon attack specifically, you want this to make the L for your dragons to follow, just like a queen charge makes the L for a hybrid or a Lalo attack. So most of the time you want to try to start on corners. However, you could be a little more creative. To start out, pick where you want the blimp to land, then place the hound followed by the blimp. It's important to do this exactly because the hound going before the blimp will take some of the attention away from the blimp, so your blimp will be able to get further without using any abilities like your Eternal Tome from your Grim Warden. When the blimp has gotten above the area you want it to land, it's important you do this. You want to place an invisibility spell, then hit the blimp icon on your troop bar again to make it crash into that location. It's super important that you have the invisibility spell down beforehand because if you place it after it has crashed, you've given the enemy defenses at least a second to attack your super archers and super wizard and the blimp, which would take them out, and thus what happens next would be a complete waste of spells. Alright, so you have them invisible. Next, you place the two clones in rage. You need to do this very quickly in at least 3 seconds because you need to replace the invisibility spell as the first one is wearing off. So you want to make sure you crash the blimp and get the two spells out before your second invisibility spell. After 3 seconds, place the second invisibility spell and just let the super archers and super wizard do some damage. The super wizard is to defeat buildings that are invisible, and the super archers are to defeat buildings that are out a little bit from the center. And with your fourth invisibility spell, just make sure they stay invisible. So as you can see, this is a pretty good value. It's enough value to where 5 invisibility spells might actually not be that useful. So 4 seems to be a good number for this strategy. Again, you could instead use super minions. However, if you were using super minions, make sure you land on a spot that doesn't have any key buildings because the super minions are not going to attack buildings that are invisible. So you want to be careful about that. Alright, and to just go over again, I'm going to say the order of your deployments. It's very quick, so to get this right, you will most likely need to practice this at least a couple sessions just to get it down in muscle memory. It's the first invisibility spell, manual blimp crash, your two clones, your rage, second invisibility spell, third invisibility spell, and fourth invisibility spell. That is the order to make this work. If you delay on any of this stuff, it's going to work, but it's going to have reduced value. So really, if you can master it, make sure you get those two clones and the rage out before that second invisibility spell. All right, that'll be it for this one.